Hi everyone, my name is Chriselle Miraflor, and for today's video I will be talking about the importance of informed consent within the counseling session. And to start, the American Counseling Association gives that counseling is a professional relationship that empowers diverse individuals, families, and groups to accomplish mental health, wellness, education, and career goals. And so the purpose of the informed consent is to define the boundaries and clarify the nature of the counseling relationship between the counselor and the client. And the presentation that was given to us in this week's materials, it gives that clients have the freedom to choose whether to enter into or remain in a counseling relationship and need adequate information about the counseling process and the counselor. Counselors have an obligation to review in writing and verbally with the client's rights, or verbally with clients, the rights and responsibilities of both the counselor and the client. And I just wanted to give a list of what the ACA recommends that counselors explicitly clarify in their session prior to providing sessions, and they are purposes and goals, techniques and procedures, limitations, potential risks and benefits of services, counselors' qualifications, credentials, and relevant experience, continuation of services upon the incapacitation or death of a counselor, the implications of diagnosis, intended use of tests and reports, fees and billing arrangements, confidentiality and limitations, information on records, and rights to participate in the ongoing counseling plans, and the rights to refuse and be advised of the consequences of such refusal. And when I was doing my research of finding different articles about of professional counselors' informed consents, I found an article by Carlisle and Newlick 2010, and they also, in that article, talked about the importance of professionality and providing professional ethics within the session. And they gave that the client has a right to know what is expected when working with a counselor, with clearly defined expectations at the beginning and throughout the whole counseling process. And an interesting thing that I found in that article was that the information must be provided in a language that the individual can understand. And so the counselor has to take or must take necessary efforts to provide an understandable explanation and form a professional opinion regarding an individual's ability to understand and consent. And that was a thing that I was shocked to read, because I didn't really think about that, but it really does make sense that the client must give these clear guidelines and expectations in a language that they can really understand. And so when I was also doing my research online, I found an informed consent by a Virginia Beach Counseling and Wellness instructor. And so within the first few sentences, she stated the explanation of the informed consent document, and she also provided her qualifications and credentials right off the bat. And the things that she had or noted in her informed consent really do align with the ACA recommendations, and I found that to be really cool to see that she had that in line. And although one of the things that I found interesting about her informed consent form was that she talked in first person language, all talked in first person all throughout the form, and she used I, you, we, us, things like that, and words and words like that. And so I was shocked to read that, and I would expect it to be in third person because third person, or reading things in third person, is more professional. And so I was wondering if that was okay. I mean, I guess she was able to go with it, but I didn't know. But that was just the most shocking thing that I found. And in the state of Maryland, where I live, all of the guidelines are basically the same, and they align with the ACA recommendations. But one thing stood out to me, and that was stated directly in the form, and it stated that counselors must obtain a full informed consent of a client participating in a human research program. And so I was wondering why that was specifically noted in there, and I didn't really seem to find that in the informed consent from the ACA, or neither there, or in the informed consent that I found online. So I was just wondering why it was just noted there, and I was wondering why it was specified. And so to close, I wanted to close with a Bible verse, and that's from 1 Corinthians 10:31-33. And it says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. Give no offense to Jews or to Greeks or to the church of God, just as I try to please everyone in everything I do, not seeking my own advantage, but that of many, that they may be saved." And so I like to follow that instruction from the Lord, that I must do everything to glorify Him, and if that means to follow rules and regulations, and the code of ethics, and to be professional in a professional setting, then I must do so and follow so, because I want to glorify Him and respect Him and honor Him in everything that I do. Thank you.